I knew it. I'm wearing a hat because I got a haircut today and it's just a little too short. But yeah, Thinking with Portals. This was the 50th video on the channel at the time. Now, if you count it, it's somewhere around like 30 or like 35. The reason for that is that there are videos that I now have deleted that I just wasn't proud of anymore. So I just decided, they can go bye-bye. Goodbye, they're gone, no more. It was kind of a special video in a way, but at the same time, I just wanted to do like a big video, and I don't really think I really needed a reason. I just thought that, hey, if I have a reason, then it's an excuse to do it. But yeah, this was the first big That Guy Who Games video that had a self-contained story. Before this, there was Zelda Chronicles, and that was a episodic story a little bit, starting with the Ocarina of Time video. But from there, I decided I wanted to actually put a story in a That Guy Who Games video, one that was more self-contained and it was throughout the video. And I think I did a really good job at doing this. The set locations and different places that I go to review the games are all different, and I think that's great. It offers variety, and I think the premise makes a lot of sense if you're a That Guy Who Games fan. If you don't know who I am, this video might be confusing as hell. Who's this blue guy being GLaDOS? There's a lot of problems when shooting this, because when I shot this, it was one of the first bigger things I shot on this camera right here. This was the first big video shot on this camera. It was the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, and when I first got it, I didn't really know what I was doing, and now I still don't know what I'm doing, but it just looks a little bit better. The ISO was cranked to the max. It was like at 12,000, so like the footage was very noisy, so I spent money on a video denoiser plugin just to get rid of it because it looked really ugly. It honestly ended up working out pretty well because it made more even lighting on the green screen, and it allowed me to get a better key so I can place myself in the fake environments better. While I did shoot this on the Blackmagic, I have test footage from before I got this camera. I was working on this project for such a long time that I started filming it on my other camera, my Canon T6i. Wait, I'll go get it. I was shooting it on this camera right here, and I still have those files. I don't know why I have those files still. I tend to delete a lot of things. As you can see, like, it just doesn't look as nice as the final video, but it's still, like, interesting to see because the setup for the green screen is not all too different. This was where the green screen was set up, and my camera was way back over there and just pointing at it, and I was trying to get as much as my body in the frame as possible. And there's a few test scenes that I did that didn't look as good because, well, this camera just doesn't have good like dynamic range, and it shoots in H.264, so it doesn't make it really that great for VFX work, but it's still a very good like camera to start out on. I kind of miss using it sometimes because it was so much simpler. Oh my god. And also another thing about this camera is that the footage doesn't corrupt when you use it. Only on this project, and no other project that I ever did had the footage corrupt, so there would be just shots missing every time I would go to work on it. I honestly think that 99% of like me in the video was a reshoot that I did alone. Before I did the reshoots, I was shooting with my girlfriend, Emily, and she was helping me shoot on the green screen. She was telling me like when I was gonna be in frame, I wasn't gonna be in frame. But then when I did the reshoots, I didn't have her, so it made things a whole lot difficult. And keep in mind, when we were filming, it was already difficult because we were still in high school. Like, we had curfews. She had to be home at a certain time. I had to drive her home from my house. She's like 30 minutes away. And the lights kept dying, and I kept having to charge the batteries, and we kept having to just wait each time. And if one battery died, and then we charged it, we plugged it in, another battery would die, so we had to plug in and charge it, all while being super quiet because my parents were trying to sleep in the other room. And not only was shooting the green screen stuff hard, but like trying to get the backgrounds was hard too. This was the first and last time I would ever use Source Filmmaker. It is a animation software that's used by Valve for their games, so a lot of the game assets are already compatible with the software. You just have to animate them. I actually got the environment for GLaDOS's room that had all the animated parts from a YouTuber called Tether Animations, and they were nice enough to give me the room and it all set up, and it was really fun and really great just to have that because I couldn't rebuild it myself. And having GLaDOS there was just perfect because I can just put a TV monitor on her and yeah, that became Computer's face. But that wasn't just Computer's face. I had to actually like put a green screen face on it and then do a key and put Computer's face on it. It was freaking a lot of VFX work, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever have to do again. But it was nice that I did it anyway, because it was really, I mean, it was really fun and really great when looking back on it. However, that doesn't mean I don't hate Source Filmmaker, because I hate it. It's the most confusing animation software I've ever used, and I've come from Blender. That's the more user-friendly option, in my opinion, for 3D animation. It was just so much easier to do stuff in Blender than it was in Source Filmmaker. Even in Gary's mod, I mean, I've animated in Gary's mod before with like certain add-ons and tools, and it's just much easier than Source Filmmaker. Surprisingly enough, though, some parts of it were filmed in Gary's mod, like when I was below the lab and then like the gutters and stuff where I meet Gabe Newell. That was done in Gary's mod because there wasn't any animation I had to do for any of like the puppets and stuff. Really, the only parts that were done in Source Filmmaker were the room where like I'm in the beginning, where I press the wall and it comes out, Computer's entrance, and basically that entire room where Computer is in. That's all Source Filmmaker. The rest was Gary's mod, if I do believe. I really liked doing the portal effects. It was the first time I've ever done like the portal effects, and it was very interesting because you got to think of like what's on the other side and how the perspective will work. I don't think it was perfect, but I do think like just for a YouTube video and my first time, it was pretty well. Plus, it allowed me to do a little spending. Not only do I have the small one, but I have the big one, and this is actually a funny thing. I bought the small one thinking it was the big one, and it was going to be for the video, but it's actually, I'm kind of happy that I have this now, because there's that throwaway joke in the video where it's just like, oh, I thought it'd be bigger. Oh wait, here's another one. But I still would have went with this, even if I couldn't have got the bigger one, because it's just so funny that it's just, oh, just a tiny portal gun. But I am happy that I got this thing. Because like this is just beautiful. When I first saw this when I was a kid, I always wanted it. Portal is just one of my favorite games. I love both of the games, and I always go back to playing them every once in a while. And just to have this sitting on my shelf in the back over there, it's just, oh, it's like awesome. Like I love this thing so much, and I'm so happy I have it. Big reason why I make videos is to spend an absurd amount of money on the stuff that I like. This was also the first time I commissioned a song to be made for the credits. I don't really do this too often. I just decided it was Portal, and like Portal has the Still Alive song. So I asked my friend Andy from the Parallel Lines to create a cover of it, and honestly, he knocked it out of the park. It was so good, and it's something I still go back to listen to every once in a while. But not only that, for my friend's channel, Nick, who was the voice of Computer in this one, I didn't want to do text-to-speech because I felt like it would have been way too robotic. He actually did a Still Alive cover that's a little bit more traditionally on his channel, and I also did like the video for that. If you haven't watched it, you should go check it out because it's pretty cool and it's Computer singing. But yeah, it was the first time that I did all of this stuff, and it was really like exhilarating and really like accomplishing. And then right after, I got burnout because it took so long to make. I don't know how long it took to make this video. It's definitely not the longest that it took, because Mario Brothers Z had the whole animation, and that took like 4 months, 6 months. I don't even remember. I remember it took a long time, and there were just a lot of hiccups, but I still powered through and I still made it, and it's one of my favorite videos to look back on. It's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, I made that, and that's so cool. Couldn't have been better? Yeah, everything could have been better, but I think I really did justice to a video game series that I love and that I like. And I talked about the prequel comics in the video. Like, I talked about Portal 1.5. But yeah, that was Thinking with Portals. It's a video that I hold dear to my heart, and I'm happy that it's still up there and still being watched.